welcome you on this beautiful Wednesday evening, the northwest side of Indianapolis, Brebeuf Jesuit High School, the side of the opening day of sectional baseball across the state of Indiana. This is a 5-team sectional number 26. Greencastle and Danville, the Tiger Cubs at 19-7 from the Western Indiana Conference, while the Warriors 15-13 this year in the Sagamore Athletic Conference. Alongside Chris Walker, my name is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you so much for joining us. The remaining sectional activity here will wait until Memorial Day. The other three teams that make up this sectional, Cardinal Ritter in the not-too-distant past won a 2A baseball state championship. Tri-West and Brebeuf Jesuit, who made the 2011 3A state championship game. They all drew the byes, at least to the semifinals, to get to Monday. We will see 1 versus 1 in today's game. Wesley Wright for Danville, Brandon Glaze for Greencastle.
Yeah, Greg, you and I had the fortune to watch Wesley Wright earlier in late April versus North Montgomery throw a one-hitter. We saw him. He was pretty good. Let's see what the Tiger Cubs can do against him tonight.
Both of these teams, starters today, enter at 5-1 on the season. Wright, a 1.89 ERA. He has thrown 37 innings, 15 bases on balls, and 48 strikeouts. The batting lineup he will see in today's game for Greencastle. Brody Whitaker will lead things off, the first baseman. Brandon Glaze, the pitcher, bats second. Nick Sutherland, the shortstop, bats third. Kiefer Wilson is the catcher. He bats fourth. Chase Carrington, the third baseman, bats fifth. Ryan Kemp is the DH, batting sixth. Huff, the second baseman, bats seventh. Pettit and Barger round out the lineup for Coach Wells and Greencastle, and most of the pop really kind of spots 1 through 6 for this Tiger Cub Ball Club. Thank you so much for joining us. In rain early in the day, but this great facility looks to be in spectacular shape, and Wesley Wright begins the game by hitting the ball. 1-0 the count.
The field really does look beautiful. Nice green grass, nicely, freshly mowed, and you gotta love it. Gotta love it.
It is cozy down the lines and in the power alleys. And Whitaker will test things in right center field. Right fielder should have plenty of room and a couple of steps in front of the warning track. That is Caden Toney that makes the grab, and Whitaker is quickly retired. Whitaker's a young man that we plan on seeing a lot on the IHSAA airwaves over the next few years because he is a fantastic basketball player. He's going to play at Marian University next year. So here's the pitcher in Brandon Glaze. Glaze has 16 runs batted in on the season. Wright misses that one a bit high. Again, 320 down each of the lines, 340 in each of the power alleys, and then out to 380 in center field. This one sprayed foul. The folks at Brebeuf have done a wonderful job of laying out all of their athletic facilities in the limited amount of real estate you have in Pike Township. So literally, our center field camera is from atop the football press box in which you are watching. There is a separate soccer field that's on the other side of that. Tennis courts then are adjacent to the school building. And to our left is the gymnasium and field house here at Brebeuf Jesuit High School. 2-1 the count. That's poured in for a strike.
And Greg, to your point, I've been in that football press box because I called a wild playoff game several years ago with West Lafayette. It was awesome, but it was cold that night.
That was a regional title for Brebeuf. For then head coach Mick Ressler, that ball fouled off the mitten, so Glaze will see another one. That was the game of the reverse on the kickoff after West Lafayette scored to go ahead late when they were ranked number 1 in the state in 3A.
It was unreal.
Curveball that Glaze does a good job of laying off. But they'll ask the first base umpire, but the answer is no. Count runs full at 3-2. Sutherland, the shortstop, who's the big bopper in the lineup, is due up next. Ground ball, high hopper, shortstop has it. That's Caden Whitehead. Niftily tosses that one over to Morrell at first base. And there's 2 down for Greencastle.
Nice job there. Good footwork by Caden Whitehead. We commented on him quite a bit when we had Danville in April. He's a really slick fielding shortstop. Good arm, moves well. Love to see him play the position.
And obviously at Danville, kind of unique, and you see this more at college settings. Turf infield, grass outfield at Danville, so you'll get maybe a different hop or two today on the natural stuff.
Yes, sir.
Here's Sutherland. Curveball misses, breaks a little bit late, 1-0 the count.
Good take there by Sutherland. Laying off that breaking ball. It's a little bit off the plate inside.
Nick, in 26 games, has hit 10 home runs for the Tiger Cubs this year.
Wow.
Driven in 32. Fastball misses up, 2-0 the count. That's where Wright has been missing so far. Threw a 7-inning one-hitter last time that we saw him in a victory against North Montgomery. Finds his proper release point that time, brings it down to the zone, 2-1 the count.
10 home runs and 97 plate appearances. Is that good, Greg?
That's decent. Curveball off the end of the bat. First baseman gives chase, but it should leave the field of play, and it does. 2-2 the count.
Sutherland's well-built kid's got a really powerful, compact swing, so I can see where that home run pop comes from.
Kiefer Wilson, the catcher, awaits on deck if it gets to him this inning. Just missed a bit high.
Yes, it did. Great take there by Sutherland.
He's getting some late movement, almost as that ball has crossed home plate. Full count now. Brought that one in the zone, and Sutherland spoils it.
Great job fighting off that breaking ball to stay alive.
They're playing straight away and relatively deep in center and left for the number 3 hitter. And that one misses. The walk is worked by the shortstop for Greencastle, and here comes Wilson to the plate.
Now back for the Tiger Cubs.
It's good at bat there by Nick Sutherland. Really being patient, swinging at the pitches he can hit, laying off the ones he can't, finds himself on first base.
Wilson batting .463 on the year. 2 home runs and 19 runs batted in. Right, the quick toss. I'm not sure how aggressive you on the base paths with your cleanup hitter at the plate. Kind of a late decision to swing as that ball dropped in the zone. 0-1 the count.
Yeah, my guess is Wesley Wright's going to be pretty difficult to steal a base on because he's got a very quick slide step to the plate.
Time is called. Ball got away from the on-deck batter in Carrington. A couple of foul balls that have been returned to the Tiger Cub dugout. One almost got away from the first baseman.
That is a very unique nickname and mascot.
The Tiger Cubs? It's
yes.
very easily explainable.
Please do.
They're one of 2 high schools with a similar nomenclature as that one. Did not hit Wilson, which means a free 90 feet for Sutherland. So DePaul University's athletic mascot is the Tigers. Hence Greencastle is the Tiger Cubs. Same thing occurs at Franklin. College is the Grizzlies. High school team nickname, the Grizzly Cubs.
Gotcha. Again, Rakestraw, your knowledge, man. I'm telling you. The things you know.
Waste a lot of space, doesn't it? Swing and a miss. And the count goes to 1-2.
See if Wilson can get a big 2-out RBI single here. Great pitch.
Wright thought he had it. His teammates thought he did too, and it did not miss by much. 2-2 the count.
No, it didn't miss by much, but I think it's a great call. As a hitter, that's a very fair strike zone.
Comes back a little bit closer. That one sent through. They will give the run of the wave around at third. Right fielder throw comes home. Not in time. It was a good throw, but that thick grass in right field slowed it down just enough. And how about a 2-out base knock for the catcher and Wilson to give Greencastle an early 1-0 lead.
Outstanding job there by Kiefer Wilson. I say it all the time. I think the hardest thing to do offensively in baseball is to get 2-out RBI hits. Kiefer Wilson stays in on a fastball, drives to the right field, gets himself an RBI. Big at bat.
courtesy runner coming in here for Greencastle, because the catcher and Wilson got to the plate. It's Carrington. The older Carrington is the pinch runner. The younger Carrington is at the plate. This is Chase. 304 on the season. 12 runs batted in. So a walk, a wild pitch, and a base hit to right field all combined for an opening run for the Tiger Cubs.
Got to be happy with that start.
I know. I looked at the football one and I was like, they're not even using it. It's way over here.
These are two starting pitchers whose ERAs are both sub-2 on the year. And that one misses just a bit high.
If you're Wesley Wright, you got to really regroup. You know, he wanted that call on an outside corner fastball against Wilson, didn't get it, gave up the hit. Now you got to regroup and go right back at the hitter.
Down at 2-0.
Come on, Chase. Come on, kid. Stay hot.
That one in for a strike.
Good fastball there with a lot of arm side run, really boring in on the hands of Chase Carrington. Not much you can do with that pitch.
Not the outside corner that time. 2-2 the count. Like one pitch away from getting out of the jam here in the top half of the first inning. Curveball that Carrington spoils and sprays that one foul.
Yeah, Wesley got away with one there. That curveball hung up there a little bit for Carrington to get a good piece of it. He just fouled it off, so he stays alive. But, man, if you're Wesley Wright, you're happy he didn't get a good piece of that one.
It's a senior-dominated group, this Greencastle squad. 9 of them on this roster. Pitcher got a piece of it. Shortstop goes the short way. Tosses over to the second baseman in Poindexter, and the inning is over. But a 2-out rally plates a run for the Tiger Cubs. 1-0 after the top of the first. The Warriors come to bat when we come back here on the ISC Sports Network.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Back at Rebuff Jesuit High School. Again, the Braves won't be playing until Monday in the sectional semifinals. In fact, they'll take on the winner of this game between Greencastle and Danville. The Warriors coming to bat for the first time. Let's show you their starting lineup. Brett Poindexter is the second baseman, leading things off. Tony Ramirez will bat second. He is the center fielder. Jacob Comer, the third baseman, bats third. Hayden Whitehead, the shortstop, will bat cleanup for Coach O'Neill's squad. Trey Morrell, the first baseman, bats fifth. Caden Tony in right field will bat sixth. The pitcher in Wesley Wright will bat seventh. Caleb Stevens in left field bats eighth, and Drew Bradley is the catcher. He is batting ninth today. The young man they are facing on the mound is Brandon Glaze. A sparkling 1.16 ERA this season for the Tiger Cubs. As mentioned, 5-1 on the season. 42 in the third inning. He has been a bit more frequent in terms of giving up the bases on balls. He has walked 27 batters on the season. Glaze has struck out 60, so he is averaging more than a K and nearly a K and a half an inning for the Tiger Cubs this year. So Poindexter will lead things off here for Danville. Curveball, a beauty, as that one drops into the zone.
Don't see that very often. First pitch of the game, a curveball by the pitcher. That means they have a book on this hitter, Mr. Brett Poindexter.
Stitch count, then provided to Poindexter on the next one. The count goes to 1-1. Poindexter batting .431 on the season. just with one RBI. So he has not been the guy to drive him home. He's been the guy to find a way to do that. Trying to get on Glaze, hustling, got him.
Good job, BG.
Whitaker gets the put out at first base.
Nice job by Glaze there. It almost appeared that he wasn't going after it hard enough, but he stayed under control, gathered himself, fielded the ball cleanly, made a good throw over to first base for the first out of the inning.
Carrington, Sutherland, Huff, Whitaker in the infield. Wilson behind home plate. Pettit, Barger, and LeBlanc in the outfield. LeBlanc is being hit for by Kemp, so we will not hear his name in the batting nine. And line drive caught. That's Whitaker, and there's quickly 2 down.
Greg, that was a very good swing by Tony Ramirez. I was just getting ready to say, when we saw him last month, he was really impressive. The kid can really run. He almost hit a ball down the line so we could really see his speed. But a nice play there by the first baseman, Brody Whitaker, to make that out.
Here's Comer, the third baseman. Outfield shading the third baseman to pull. That is 3 straight off-speed pitches, as in the first pitch to start a batter in 3 at-bats in this game. Comer batting .441 on the year. That is good for 30 hits in the course of a high school season. And clearly Glaze is liking his off-speed stuff tonight.
And maybe that's why he threw it. If they're going to swing at those, they need to keep throwing it.
Over 1 home run, 14 runs batted in.
Wow.
He's only offered maybe 1 fastball so far in this game. Maybe 2. 2-1 the count. We'll ask for a different baseball.
I love when pitchers do that, Greg. I still don't know if they really feel anything on the ball, or is it just something to kind of start them over and reset their mind?
You just nailed it. Something just to kind of give you a moment to reset. Count it 3-1. This time, like we said, that's it tells you how good of a job he has done of pitching out of trouble. That he has walked 28 batters. That's not a terrible amount, but it gets your attention.
It does.
And again, his ERA is sub 1.2.
Normally don't see that. Interesting there to see a 3-1 breaking ball. That tells me he has more confidence in his breaking ball than his fastball.
Here's Whitehead, the shortstop. That one just broke a little bit late.
Wow.
Yeah, catcher asking, saying, hey, was that in the zone? And umpire says no.
I don't know if you're the catcher, you want to turn around and do that.
That one in the zone for a strike. 1-1 the count.
He is really breaking ball heavy. I mean, this is a lot of breaking balls.
Comes back with a fastball, and Whitehead skies it. Shortstop wearing the shades, no problem, camps under it. The laws of physics eventually bring it down, and the catch is made, and the inning is over. Greencastle takes a 1-0 lead to inning number 2. Today's game presented by Endeavor Communications, and you're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Today's game is a service of our friends at Endeavor Communications. We thank them for supporting each of these 2 schools at Danville as well as Greencastle High School. Endeavor Communications offers high-speed service that businesses and residences need to stay ahead. Get the internet performance that makes it all happen ridiculously fast at WeEndeavor.com. Alongside Chris Walker, Greg Rakestraw with you. 6, 7, and 8 coming up here for the Tiger Cubs. Ryan Kemp, the DH. Huff, the second baseman, and Pettit out in left field will see Wesley Wright for a first time today. Greencastle coming in at 19-7. Members of the Western Indiana Conference. That is a league that's primarily a 2A, 3A league, but some schools that have some really good baseball pedigree in that group. Edgewood played in the last 3A state championship. Their head coach, Bob Jones, just won his 500th game in the not-too-distant past. They've got a young man named Luke Hayden that is as talented as any pitcher in the state of Indiana.
It's pretty good. IU commit, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
But also in that league, you have West Vigo that, in their school, you just assume they're going to be good in baseball every year. They have played at Victory Field in a state championship game before. 1-1 the count.
Luke Hayden is a kid. It's going to be very interesting to watch to see if he makes it to IU because he's getting a lot of professional draft interest. So we'll see what happens.
You're telling me there could be a couple of Hoosier commits that end up not going to Bloomington.
Well, because Colson Montgomery, the other one you were referring to,
yep,
he will not make it to Bloomington.
No. And the folks at Indiana have thought that all along.
Correct.
1-2 the count. Fastball smacked towards the second baseman. Poindexter waiting on it. Easy toss to Morrell to first, and there's 1-1. And for those that don't know who we're talking about, Colson Montgomery, a young man that four-year starter on the basketball team, four-year starter on the baseball team, became the starting quarterback on the football team at Southridge as a sophomore. Stopped playing football after his sophomore year. A lot of folks think he should have been an Indiana All-Star in terms of basketball. But he is projected to be drafted somewhere between 25 and 40.
Correct.
In the upcoming MLB draft. And again, he is verbally, he's signed to go to IU, but not expected to ever make it on campus.
Correct. Former Purdue coach and current Oregon Duck coach Mark Wazakowski told me a couple of years ago, he said it's the closest thing to Corey Seager he's seen. So
the amazing connection is the fact that Scott Rowland is Jeff Mercer's staff at IU. Mm-hmm. Scott played at Jasper, and the folks in Du Bois County do not shy away from thinking that Colson Montgomery is the next Scott Rowland. He's a shortstop now, but he's projected to be a third baseman going forward.
Well, if Colson Montgomery can have half the career that Scott Rowland did, he's going to be just fine.
He is a lucky man. Here's Huff, and that one gave a couple of haircuts on its way atop the dugout.
Scott Rowland, one of those players that gets talked a lot about the Hall of Fame. I'm not sure, but he is for certain in the Hall of the Very Good.
Curveball swing and a miss. Just took enough off of that one. Up swings through and misses. There is 2 down. And looking at this Greencastle lineup, you look at their batters 1 through 6. Really, it's kind of 290 and up of that group. Bottom of this order has struggled a little bit from an average standpoint this year. In other words, their damage likely is coming from spots 1 through 6. Pettit, the left fielder. Right airmails that one. Pettit batting a .197. Home run and 15 runs batted in. And in pro baseball, you can poo-poo the batting average a little bit by trying to deposit one in the second deck of whatever stadium you are in. In high school, average is still preferred. The count now goes to 1 and 2.
I think we're going to see in the next 5 years, Greg, it's going to come back around in pro ball as well.
And Pettit helped him by chasing one that was above the eye black he is wearing today. Quickly, the Tiger Cubs retired in order in the top of the second. Danville comes back to bat, trailing by a run after this as you're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
Let's thank our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew. We have assembled the A-team today. Thank you, Rob Lynn, Shelton Wheeler, Dennis Glover, Aaron Van Wolde. Thanks to Jordan Shue running the show right behind us in the van behind this great setup we have at Bluff Jesuit High School. Alongside Chris Walker, Greg Rakestraw with you. Thank you to Ted Hampton and the great folks at Buff for being such gracious hosts to us today, especially when the Braves are not involved. They're not playing for 5 days.
Well, I was kind of hoping they were, because they have a pretty good right-handed pitcher as well that we'd love to see, right? I mean, a Vanderbilt commit, so.
Are you starting to lobby for the crew to come back on Memorial Day?
I'm trying.
Okay. I think the folks from Bluff would like to have us if we want to come back on Monday.
As they call him, Duke. I would love to see him throw.
Trey Morrell. Of course, Vanderbilt has recruited this state early and often over the years.
Yes, they have.
Jared Miller from Avon. The Rice kid from Crawfordsville. And Michael Doolin from the last 2 Andrean state championship teams.
I'm forgetting the Lebanon kid, Reed Schaller.
Yep.
Reed Schaller, yeah.
Morrell at first. Smacks this one. Center fielder came in, now is heading back. Now looks up, that one off the base of the wall. Morrell should be a stand-up 2-bagger, it will be. And he used all 380 feet of the park to deposit that one.
Really good swing by Trey Morrell. Gets a fastball on the outside part of the plate, and it's up a little bit. And all he does is put a good swing on it, and that ball travels in the right center field gap. Good swing by Trey Morrell.
So Caden Toney now will come to the plate. Caden is the right fielder. Fielders, third baseman playing in with the bag. First baseman in Whitaker is in on the grass. Thinking Toney could be moving this man around. Toney batting .409 on the season. 17 runs batted in.
If you're Caden Toney, get the bunt side here. You're trying to butt the ball at the third baseman to make him commit. Come get the ball so Trey Morrell can advance to third base.
Given Toney's numbers on the season and given the early status of this game, I don't think that's kind of Coach O'Neill's mindset right now.
And I don't disagree with it at all. Play for the big inning.
Oh, especially with that swing.
No
Tattoos it. Center fielder drifting back at the wall. Makes the grab. Morrell was 2/3 of the way to third base. He'll have to go back to second. But that is about 379 feet of out that Toney just hit to dead center.
Tremendous swing there by Caden Toney there. Great play by the center fielder, Bryce Barger. But I want to talk about the base running play there by Trey Morrell. Once you see the center fielder's numbers on his back, you can get back to second base and tag, because if he can make that throw from the 380 sign to get you at third base, you tip your cap to him.
It may not matter. This one laced to center field. They'll give Morrell the wave around. Center fielder's throw cut off. There won't be a play at home plate. Young fella going to make his mom do his laundry anyway as he dives across home plate. And we are tied at 1, and that is 3 consecutive Danville batters that have absolutely laced one to center field.
Yeah, and then the funny thing about it, the ball that was hit the best was probably at the out.
Right.
They're taking really good swings on Brandon Glaze this inning.
So that is right. That helps his own cause with the RBI. Courtesy runner will come in to replace him at first base.
And Greg, I may have missed it, but we saw how curveball heavy Glaze was in the first inning. I'm not sure he's done that so far, and they've been all over the fastball.
Now you got a bunt and run. We'll have to have the runner take the bag of his own accord, and he will. So a stolen base for Danville. Let's make sure we get you the name of said courtesy runner. That is Carter. That is in to run for the Warriors. He's right, headed back to the dugout. This is Caleb Stevens at the plate, the left fielder. The Warriors being aggressive on the base pass.
Gotta love it. Forcing the issue, being aggressive, put pressure on the defense.
Now 3-0. Catcher and Bradley is due up next.
Here we go, 13. Let's go now.
Wow.
Taken all the way.
3-0 curveball.
So again, shows you what he feels comfortable with right now.
Yes, it does.
Stevens on the season batting .219. That's just 2 runs batted in, but smacks this
swing.
one to right field. Carter will get the wave around from third base. Again, throw goes to second. It's 4 consecutive balls that have been tattooed by Danville batting. And the Warriors take a 2-1 lead.
Just a really, really good job of hitting by Caleb Stevens on a breaking ball that stayed up. He just smoked it in the right center field. Scoring another run, scoring Wesley Wright there. So just like you said, they're taking really good swings right now.
Here's Drew Bradley, the number 9 hitter. Batting just a .186 on the season. Tries to put that down, throw to shortstop, and he'll be out eventually. Yep. Did a tremendous job, did Stevens, to avoid the tag, but he also avoided second base. With that, Sutherland applies the tag, and there's 2 down.
You know what, Greg, what I say to that is if you slide, you don't have to worry about that happening. Right? When you try to go in standing up, it makes it really difficult.
And if he slides, he is dead meat on that play as well.
True.
So the out recorded 2-6. It's the fact that Bradley is hitting under 200. However, he's a young man that's going to play college baseball next year. Going to play Division III ball at Trine University.
Nice pitch.
So that misses, count at 1 and 2. Clearly his focus has been on behind the plate, not at the plate. Understandably so.
Nice.
Strike 3 call. And that is the end of the inning. But Danville does some damage. 3 batters reach, 2 come around to score, and the Warriors take a 2-1 lead at the top of the 3rd. Tonight's game presented by Endeavor Communications here on the ISC Sports Network.
Brewer jams it home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half.
Throw it up for Tillman.
Oh, my goodness. 122.60 for Penn.
What a swim! 6 of them.
Back here on the ISC Sports Network, 9, 1, and 2. Coming up this time through for the Tiger Cubs. Barger, the center fielder, will lead things off. Batting .214 on the season. Turned out to be an absolutely gorgeous day here on the northwest side of Indianapolis. Weather forecast played out exactly as predicted for once. Rain during the early stage of the morning. Let up around lunchtime. Several places kind of in the southern part of the state had their sectional games postponed today. And you always get a little bit of stretched out schedules for sectional baseball, in large part because you are trying to work around graduations. One of the folks here at Brebeuf had their graduation on Sunday. I think Danville's is next weekend. Greencastle has theirs on Friday night. So again, this is the lone game of this sectional not played on Memorial Day. Semifinals at 10 and noon and championship at 7. This sectional constitutes the teams west of Indianapolis and the west side of Indianapolis. There is another 3A sectional for the other Marion County teams that are kind of downtown and east side of Indy. Barger, 214 on the year, 10 runs batted in. And Wright fires one in there for a strike.
I got a kick out of that. Before the inning started, Trey Morrell, the first baseman, was cleaning off the mound for his pitcher, Wesley Wright. My question is, how do you know Wesley wants that mound cleaned off, Trey?
I would assume by this point in time in the season, you kind of
know what he wants?
Exactly. What's preferred.
There you go.
Count goes to 0-2.
Ouch.
And plunks him. Given how quickly he responds to that, that must have got the back of his helmet. Had to have.
Well, it looks like he pointed kind of back shoulder.
He took that like it was nothing big.
He did.
We'll get a great look here.
hard to
apparently he's kind of winged him.
Yeah.
I assumed it was his helmet because he did not wince in pain.
No, he didn't.
After getting that fastball. Now he's working it out a little bit. So of the 3 base runners so far for Greencastle, one has been a walk, other's been a hit by pitch. Here comes Whitaker. Whitaker's plate appearance was brief enough in the first inning. We didn't get a chance to tell you maybe the extent of his story. Reference the fact that he is going to play basketball at Marian University. This young man is the all-time leader in points scored at Greencastle High School.
So he likes to shoot the rock, is what you're telling me.
I like the fact that a kid that's going to play a different sport in college is still playing baseball with his buddies in the spring. I really think that's cool.
100%.
There was a great story about Caden Curry of Center Grove, and if that name does not ring a bell, simply put, he is one of the best recruits to come out of this state from a football standpoint in a long time, as that one is blocked. He is playing baseball this spring. Now, he has said he is not going to play next year because after his first semester of his senior year, he is going to enroll in college. And his top 3, you may have heard of these programs: Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State. That one misses high and in tight. All of a sudden, Wright's having trouble finding home plate, 3-0. But I have again, I think of things. I played first base many moons ago, and I'm thinking about having the 6'5", 260-pound guy bearing down the first base line, trying to beat out an infield single.
Not fun.
No. Get a good look at the runner over there at first base. Love our picture-in-picture. Whitaker can take it all the way. That's in for a strike.
Alabama, Clemson, and Ohio State.
Barger does have 11 stolen bases on the year. This one sprayed foul.
Good swing and rip at a fastball there by Whitaker.
By the way, if Whitaker gets on, look out. He has stolen 36 bases this year. Wow. Reason why he's hitting leadoff.
Find a way on, too. Find a way on.
I'm going to guess you'd have to believe that's close to a school record.
This one, deep center field. Center fielder drifting back, buys time and has it. And that is the second out that Whitaker has hit into that has flirted with the warning track. He got a lot of the park on that one. One down.
I want to talk about this play by Tony Ramirez. It wasn't just a catch. He hustled back, made the catch, but he made a really strong throw back into second base, a one-hop throw, because Bryce Barger went back to first to tag up, and he took off, but then he had to go back because the throw was on line, and it was a strong throw.
So here's Glaze. Ground ball to the shortstop last time up. Overpowering fastball that time from right.
Got that fastball just in over the hands of Brandon Glaze. Not much you can do with that one.
Toss back and plenty of time is Barger. Barger, one of 5 Tiger Cub runners that have double-digit steals on the season. Curveball a beauty.
Yes, it was.
And given how many pitches he has missed high and in tight, certainly it gave Glaze a moment of pause as he kind of froze as that one broke into the zone.
Absolutely.
0-2 the count. Got a lot of the plate on 0-2 that time, and Glaze spoiled it.
Yeah, that's a little better pitch on 0-2 than you'd like to see if you're a Danville fan. Let's see if Wesley Wright can regroup and make a better pitch here.
Fading him towards right. That one never flirted with the zone. 1-2 the count.
I can see Wesley Wright coming back with a breaking ball here. See what he decides to do.
Runner goes. It was the breaking ball, and it was hit well.
Yes, it was.
Left center field. Center fielder comes all the way across and drops it. Got it in his glove and dropped it. Well, because it looked like it was going to be a catch, Barger had to head back towards first, so it minimizes the damage, but runners on first and second. And I hate to give Ramirez an error on that play, but coming all the way from right center field, just had it popped out of his glove. So E8 on that play.
E8, man, you're a tough judge, Greg. I'll tell you, that's the play as a center fielder or any outfielder. When you're running after the ball like that, you got to make sure you're on the balls of your feet, because when you're on your heels, your head is bouncing, and that ball, it looks like you're seeing 3 baseballs up there. So you don't know. With Tony Ramirez running so fast and so far, you have to make sure you're on the balls of your feet so you make the play.
You think I'm being mean? Think I should give him a hit on that one?
I would give him a hit on that.
Hit, first baseman. There you go.
And I was a center fielder.
He was running from right center. I mean,
yes, he was.
That's as long of a run as you will see an outfielder make.
Yep.
I will reward the hitter for the poke that he had. By the way, Wells is coming to be the courtesy runner. The Blaze can go back to focusing on pitching in the third. And that's in for a strike. So Sutherland walked and scored in the first. Sutherland, 10 home runs, and we have clearly seen the ball carry quite well here so far today.
Yes, we have. Wind blowing straight out.
Just off the corner.
Good pitch.
Yep. Probably got the benefit of the inside corner and didn't get the 50-50 ball in the other corner. 1-1 the count. Goes back with a fastball and just a bit elevated. 2-1 the count.
It's a really big at bat by Nick Sutherland here. Runner in scoring position, down a run right now. I mean, he looks to be a really good presence in the batter's box.
Sutherland, one of the many seniors on this team. Everybody else did not play last year, so this is the year this group's been pointing to for a couple of years, and obviously it's paid off with 19 wins. And that's a walk. The base is now loaded. Coach O'Neill going to come out and have a conversation with Wright. Second walk he has issued. Both have been to Sutherland. Now it's Wilson. 5 home runs and 19 runs batted in, and don't make that 20 because that was his 20th RBI of the year that he collected back in inning number 1.
And I'm not sure it's too bad of an idea to walk Nick Sutherland. Now, you never want to walk the bases loaded, but, you know, he can do some major damage with one swing of the bat.
So can the young man right behind him, however.
True.
He's batting .463 on the year, and again, that number goes up after his base hit last time around. Wilson, 5 home runs, a team high 10 doubles. Has 2 triples as well. The on base plus slugging catches your attention on that graphic. Right, pours in a fastball.
Yeah, whenever your OPS starts with a 1, it's really impressive. But
right.
when the next number after the 1 is a 3, it's really, really impressive. So, yeah, he's having a pretty good year.
Ball to the corners, they will come home. Middle infielders hit their way. They will try to turn 2. Great job by Bradley to kick slide and prevent that one from getting by him.
Outstanding technique there by Drew Bradley to get out, kick his leg out, and shift over and keep that ball in front of him.
Not a lot of room behind home plate here. This one smacked into center field. Will get down for a base hit. 1 run will score. They will give a late stop sign to the runner at third, and probably a good thing. Good arm by Ramirez in center field. We are now tied at 2 here in the top of the third.
Great swing there by Kiefer Sutherland. I'm sorry, Kiefer Sutherland. I'm thinking of 24.
You've combined 3 and 4. It's quite I'm sure they've heard that before.
Kiefer Wilson drives the ball right back through the box for a base hit. Gets himself an RBI.
His second of today's festivities, 21st of the year. And here comes Chase Carrington. Also in an RBI situation. He's had 12 of those this year. Last ball he hit was to the shortstop. Wright has had no problem spotting that fastball for a strike.
No, he hasn't.
Let's point out that these are two pitchers that both have sub-2 ERAs, that have both given up 2 earned runs here the first kind of time and a half through the lineup. Their ball a little high. Look at the various runners away from their bases. They're breaking out all the technology on the broadcast today.
I love it.
Count at 1 and 2.
Third base coach didn't really like the call. That's a strike at the bottom of the zone. As a pitcher, you love it. As a hitter, you don't like it so much.
Curveball. And had Carrington tied in knots. That's a big out for Danville.
Huge out.
2 down. It is the third strikeout authored by Wright so far. There's Ryan Kemp, the DH. Ground ball to the second baseman, his previous plate appearance. This is just the 7th game that Kemp has played in this year. There's 4 RBI during that limited time. And again, song remains the same. Wright has started every batter he's faced with a first pitch fastball, and the majority of them they have been taking the entire time. And Wright will step off the rubber to avoid any further advance by runners.
And usually, like just commenting on what you're talking about, Greg, I like to see hitters in these kind of situations aggressive early. The pressure is on the pitcher. You get a fastball running count, and you swing away, and you try to get a good piece in.
Well, especially you always go to school on every at bat during the game.
Of course.
Whether you're on deck or in the dugout,
That's
you
right.
see 3 or 4 batters in a row see first pitch fastball. You're thinking, okay,
There you go. It's about having a plan.
time to eat. Let's go.
That's right.
It's overpowering that time. The count goes to 1 and 2. Danville trying to minimize the damage. And this one, right fielder over. That's Tony, and he had it played perfectly. Again, Greencastle ties it, but from Danville's perspective, it could have been a lot worse. Through 2.5 here at Brebeuf, we are tied at 2 in this sectional opener. Today's game presented by Endeavor Communications, and you're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Yes, folks, that's using all of the available ground. Right center field for both softball and baseball shared here at Brebeuf High School. Today's game presented by Endeavor Communications. With Endeavor's ridiculously fast internet speeds, it's now easy for you to watch, work, study, and play all at the same time. Sign up today at join.weendeavor.com.
Greg, I did not realize, you're truly, truly accurate about using all of your available real estate. I didn't realize it was a shared wall out there. That's pretty cool.
Real estate prices are not cheap here in Marion County, Chris. As we are bordered by 86th Street to our north on the other side of the building here at this great high school. Everything is cozy here.
Yes.
Gymnasium has about 8 or 9 rows on both sides. Had the privilege of seeing some great basketball games in this gym over the years. To the top of the lineup we go. First pitch swinging on the fastball on his hands. Poindexter will roll that one over foul.
Well, it's pretty cool to see. He showed me as we walked in the press box tonight, right over my left shoulder, a picture of Sherrod Clinkscales, who is the current athletic director in Indiana State, former Boilermaker baseball player like myself.
Curveball smacked to center field. Center fielder barely has to move. That's Barger, and there's one away.
Good swing there by Poindexter, but right to the center fielder Barger for the first out of the inning. And just to continue my comment about Sherrod, I remember early in my Purdue baseball career, we do alumni days, and at that time, our head coach, Steve Green, would play the old players against the current team. So it'd be alum against the current team. And Sherrard would be one of the pitchers on the alumni, and he was throwing way too hard. No one wanted to hit against him. And he didn't have very good command at that time. It was dangerous.
You're facing Nuke LaLoosh, huh?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Ramirez, line one to the first baseman in Whitaker. His previous plate appearance. The program in which he is the AD now has a really good baseball team this year at Indiana State.
Yes, they do.
Kind of leaked some oil down the stretch of the season, but still a NCAA tournament potential without even having to win the Missouri Valley Conference.
I had a really good conversation with head coach Mitch Hannes a few weeks ago about Lafayette Jeff Star, the center fielder Caleb Copin, who will probably be in contention of a Mr. Baseball potential. I mean, kid's had a great year. I think 12 home runs so far.
That is at a park that is big.
Yes.
I mean, it's kind of like Victory Field. You can tug one down the line.
You're good.
You get a short porch. Other than that,
good luck.
You're hitting one of the zoo. Curveball, a beauty. My goodness. Ramirez gave it an effort, but not much you can do with that. There's two down.
That's a really, really good breaking ball by Brandon Glaze. Just swings, Tony Ramirez swings right over the top of it.
Second strikeout for Glaze. Again, Glaze made quick work of the first two batters in the first inning. Doing it here, it was the middle and bottom of the lineup that roughed him up last inning.
And if I remember correctly, Jacob Comer here, the third baseman, we really commented and got a good shot of his glove the last broadcast we have in him because he's got a really slick Rawlings gold glove. Either Rawlings or Wilson, but he's got the laces, kind of matches his team uniform, the
Silver.
colors. Really, really neat looking glove there. Parents spent a lot of money on that glove.
Swing and a miss, and Glaze was dealing in the brief bottom half of the third. Tied at 2 through 3 in this sectional opener. As you're watching, presented by Endeavor Communications on the ISC Sports Network.
The best video on the internet is not the guy of the last week or so. It's the surfing bulldog.
Expecto Patronum, like, Harry Potter. Everybody knows what I'm talking about at home.
I'm not
confused.
12.
You are one of the most disgusting people I've ever met.
You asked. You open up the door. Squeaky. Colts quarterback room is kind of like picking your favorite Ernest movie. They're all pretty bad. You have
Did you actually see any of those?
You have to go. I really was a big Ernest. Yeah.
No way.
Ernest fan. Ernest Goes to Camp was my favorite.
Look at the Wellness Center that is located kind of at the southeast corner of the campus here at Brebeuf. That is a great overlook. You're on that second or third floor, and you get to overlook the entire football stadium from that perspective. Football was not always taken as seriously as it is now here at Brebeuf Jesuit High School. They have made the 3A state championship twice in the last decade. Runners up to Evansville Memorial when they made it 3 years ago. So for Greencastle, they will send batters 7, 8, and 9 to the plate. Huff will lead things off, followed by Pettit and Barger. See some of the fans with the good seats down the line today.
Now batting for the Tiger Cubs, number 19.
A little bit cooler than we've had the last few days. Temperature on the turf were upper 80s, low 90s night ago when Chris and I had the numbers 1 and 2 softball teams in the state. New Powell and Roncalli. Of course, Roncalli avenging one of their 2 losses from earlier this year, and in New Powell their first and only loss of the season. Scoring 4 in the top of the 7th to win 4-0 last night. In front of a crowd that we estimated was well over 1,000.
Unbelievable environment. And what's even more impressive, I mean, they're 1 and 2 in the state, but they're also number 10 and 17 at the time in the country.
Correct.
Really impressive softball.
Taking all the way at 2-0. Huff watches that go by for a strike. He was struck out in his previous plate appearance. Batting .43, and Bradley tried to frame that one, but couldn't pull it back over the corner in time.
Tell you what, I love the pace that Wesley Wright pitches at.
As if he is renting the facility.
That's right.
Count goes full with a swing and a miss.
Mark Burley-esque.
Great pull.
Oh!
Defensive swing that time, and Morrell will take the easy out, steps on the bag, and I can't blame Huff for swinging. Again, that's, please don't hit me.
Well, it's either swing or be making a trip to the dentist or orthodontist, right? So you got to do something to protect yourself.
My kid's dentist is just down the road over at St. V's.
There we go.
If we get to that, I'll recommend. Again, got to chase that one a little bit.
This Danville team must have a book on Pettit a little bit. I saw Caden Whitehead, the shortstop, and Jacob Comer at third base, and kind of shifting over a little bit towards their their left.
Well, wherever Whitehead shifted to, he was lined up perfectly.
Yes, he was.
Credit Pettit for flying down the line and making that a close play, but we'll go down. It's 6-3, and there's 2 down. So here's Barger. Barger again earned the tying run last time he was up. Here's a look at the play down the line as Pettit finished that like he was trying to hit the tape, as you should.
Yes, he did. I love it. Love to see it.
Sprinter's lean trying to get that one. Barger's thinking, what gives? He's already been hit one time. And watch that one go by. Back of the outside corner fastball and in for a strike. Safety netting behind us. And much like Glaze made quick work of the Warriors in the home half of the third, Wright is trying to respond in kind here in the top of the fourth.
Yes, he is.
Curveball had him ducking, and again, once you've been hit once, I understand. That one broke a little bit late. Almost was strike 3. Counted 2-2.
Makes you almost think that they have a little book on Bryce Barger that they want to really throw him hard in, because you've seen a lot of balls miss inside of him.
Count runs full.
Now if you're Barger, you're looking for a ball in the outside corner that you can drive.
Chase the eye-high fastball, and Wright wins that battle. Strikeout number 4, and we go to the home half of inning number 4. Midway through this one, tied at 2 in this sectional opener. Presented by Endeavor Communications on the ISC Sports Network.
Want lightning-fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town, so you can download huge files in a flash, stream videos at blazing speeds, and game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
A look at the beautiful sky here on the northwest side of Indianapolis. It's early Wednesday evening. Greg Rakestraw, Chris Walker with you. Here on the ISC Sports Network. Again, we cannot thank our friends at Endeavor Communications enough that helped bring tonight's game to you. You see, Dennis Glover has the world by his lonesome out there in center field / the football press box. Great vantage point for today's game. Coming up for Danville, middle of the lineup, Whitehead, Morrell, and Tony, 4, 5, and 6 to up this time through.
Let's watch this at bat by Caden Whitehead, Greg. His last at bat, he hit a ball a mile high to the shortstop. He just got under that ball, but he got a lot of barrel on it. Took a really good swing, just got under it a little bit. Let's see what he does this time.
That one misses low, 1-0 the count.
Leave it to the shortstop to have the nice flow coming out of the back of the helmet and
Always.
the hat.
Curveball swings over top of that one. Greencastle team receiving votes in the latest 3A coaches poll. Buff checks in at number 10 in said poll. High hopper.
Gonna be a tough play.
Shortstop. Throw. Got him. I like you thought if the third baseman doesn't grab that one, that's a base hit. But Sutherland going to get Whitehead by a step, and there's one down.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those in-between choppers where there's a shortstop. You can't really come get it. Sutherland stayed back on it, but he has an arm that's strong enough to get the ball across the diamond, and he does just in time to get Caden Whitehead.
There's Trey Morrell. He launched the hit parade in the second for Danville.
And literally he launched it. He had a ringing double to start that inning.
The center fielder and Barger had it going in reverse for a couple of batters. Made a tremendous play on another. Harrington, high throw, but had plenty of time to take care of Morrell. And you might tell Brody there's 2 outs, not 3. First base kind of skipped that ball. Man, the dugout. No.
Yeah, well, be careful if you're Brody Whitaker over there first. When you're first baseman, you don't want to stretch too soon. You want to get both feet, both heels back by the bag, and kind of get your little 1-2 step. Yeah, you forgot how many outs. All
2.
Right.
Here's Tony. Popped him straight up. Whitaker calling off the second baseman. And dropped it. It's not the first baseman's mitt. That'll be the first error of the game.
That is one of those situations where I don't care what position you play. I say it all the time when I coach youngsters. I say, use 2 hands until you're paid to play the game. Once they're paying you to play the game, you can use as many hands as you want. But at this level, you need to use 2 hands.
Nice pitch.
Just off the corner. Here's Wright. Single to right field on an RBI the last time up. His spot, Carter the pinch runner for him. Come around to score what was then the go-ahead run for Danville.
Good pitch.
Bender in there for a strike. 1-1 the count.
You know, you think these errors sometimes they don't come back to hurt you, but you have to add those extra pitches to the pitcher. They can become taxing if you're not careful.
Well, the good news for Glaze is that he's made quick work of each of the last 2 innings.
He has.
For Danville. But obviously it is now in the postseason where you start to really kind of scrutinize those pitch counts, even more. That is the courtesy for these 2 teams that you have a 5-day gap.
Correct.
Until you play again. Just a bit low. 2-2.
It's always interesting to me to watch kind of how high school coaches use their pitching staff in this time of year, because you have some of these kids that have careers beyond high school. You don't want to be reckless with them, but you also want to win, right? So it's always a fine line on how you use guys.
Runner goes, and the ball gets to the backstop. He had that ball stolen, that base stolen regardless. Yes, give Tony a steal.
And remember, this Tony's on base as a result of an E3 here. So, Wesley Wright really is trying to help himself. If he can get a big hit here, that can be a really big momentum boost for his Danville Warriors team.
This is similar to how Greencastle scored their first run. 2-out walk. Move the runner around and
big hit.
Run scores. Does not matter. Curveball swing and a miss, and the inning is over. So we are quickly through 4 here at Rebuff Jesuit. Greencastle and Danville are tied at 2 as you're watching on the ISC Sports Network. The drive, the take, fouled, and it goes!
Lobbing it to the back of the end zone. They're going to say it's a touchdown.
Left foot gets through. Goal for Vargas. Hamilton will score! Look at the flag and just left of straightaway center. Not much of a breeze. Moving that around right now, and again, what breeze there is a bit cooler than we saw a night ago. If you are of those that here in Marion County that as part of your race day ritual, you're going to spend the entire day at the track, the forecast on Sunday. Well, it looks like Mother Nature owes us one from last year. Temperatures in the low 70s on race day.
I would say, Greg, would you believe if I told you I've never been to an Indy 500 race? And I normally don't because of the weather. Man, that's just way too hot to be sitting out there, but that would be a great day to do it.
I will rectify that at some point. Top of the fifth we go, and the top of the lineup rolling back through for Tiger Cubs. Their last 5 batters have been retired by right. And coming in at 15 and 13 on the season. I saw them back in April and put it on a North Montgomery team. At the time came in at 7 and 1. Their record has kind of evened out as the season has gone along.
Danville was really impressive in that game, as you said earlier. They threw two one-hitters, back-to-back one-hitters. A really impressive pitching performance.
Whitaker has hit a couple of ropes, but they have both been quartered as outs. Fly ball to right center and a fly ball to deep center field. 2 home runs, 19 runs batted in. 8 doubles, 7 triples for the fleet of foot Whitaker.
7 triples is a high number at any level.
As I'm rattling off his stats, I think I'm going to send a note to Todd Bacon, the baseball coach at Marion.
Yes.
Hey, listen, I know you and Coach Hetty are friends. You may want to work something out for this kid to come play for you once the basketball season is over.
Yeah, let's see if we can share a player, man. Wow. 7 triples.
Pops this one straight up. Whitehead's fighting the sun. Center fielder coming in. Ramirez can't find it, and that will fall as a base hit. And that is the sun field that those guys are facing, as our field faces southeast here at Brebeuf. So,
yeah, so Tony Ramirez is playing pretty deep in center field there. Caden Whitehead went out like he originally was going to have that ball. I think he gave up on it a little bit too soon. You got to keep going and trying to find it, but like you said, I think the sun field kind of really affected that.
36 stolen bases by Whitaker. You saw him leaning immediately.
Yep.
So this is going to be a little cat and mouse going on here at first base on the pitcher's mound.
This will be fun to watch because, like I said earlier, Wesley Wright is really quick with a quick slide step to the plate. And Whitaker does not have a big lead at all. I'm telling you, if he tries to steal first base from that leadoff, if you can get a decent throw, it's going to be a close play. It's going to be tough to steal from that lead.
Not going yet. Curveball in there, misses.
And that actually would have been the best time to go because Wesley Wright did not slide step on that pitch, and he threw a breaking ball.
I love the picture-in-picture we offer. You get a look at the activity at first while you see the look from center field.
Man, Greg, our new technology, pretty neat. All kinds of different shots today. At the quad view, now we got a little PIP going. Love it.
Whitaker got a sizable lead, but elected to stay. He's getting a good secondary lead.
Yes, sir. Which tells us he's not thinking about stealing right now, which I'm surprised.
Got a 2-0. This was taken all the way. 2-1 to count. He singled last time, hit the ball to deep left center field. And Ramirez, who was playing him towards right, just could not hit the ball in his glove. This one sprayed foul, 2-2 the count.
So being a former base stealer myself, Greg, I know Brody Whitaker has a lot of stolen bases, but I would like to see him get a couple more steps on the leadoff, even when he's not going, because even if he just falls down right now on a pickoff, he's able to touch the base. Just like that. It's way too easy. You may as well get a couple more, see what you can get away with, You want to be able to take one hard step and dive back, and if you're safe, you're good to go.
This is outside, full count. You send the runner even with nobody out on a full count.
I think they are. The third base coach just kind of motioned over to him. I want to see if the leadoff is any different here by Brody.
Line
Good
drive,
swing.
right field, gets down for a base hit. Whitaker will stop at second. Back-to-back base hits for the Tiger Cubs.
It's a good start to the inning, and now the big slugger, Nick Sutherland, coming up. This is going to be, it's got to be a big inning for the Tiger Cubs.
Wells will come in as the courtesy runner for Glaze, so he can focus on the activity at home plate. Again, the game dictates anything about moving the runners around here. The batter at home plate dictates swing away.
That's right.
He has been walked twice, and he scored the first run of the game for Greencastle. They're batting .456. The team has 20 home runs. Nick has 10 of those. He too has 7 doubles and a triple on the season as well. So of his 34 hits, 18 have been for extra bases. And activity is about to begin in the bullpen for Danville. They're sending reinforcements to the pen as we speak. Right, just misses that one low.
So this may not happen, but these are the situations where I like to be aggressive as a base stealer. Brody Whitaker with a ton of stolen bases. Third base is much easier to steal, in my opinion, than second. If you can get a read on the pitcher and get a good jump, you can take third.
That's in at the knees for a strike. By the way, it is Heffernan. He and Wright, from a pitching standpoint, not much separating those two guys this year.
If I'm not mistaken, that's who we saw the second
Correct.
game, right? Yeah.
Both pitchers 5-1. Heffernan's ERA is a little bit lower. Heffernan's going to pitch at IU Kokomo next year. Knowing right now you can't think about Monday, you got to get there first.
That's right. Tell you what, these base runners really slowed down the pace of Wesley Wright, but I really like how he varied his looks. Pitchers can become creatures of habit, which makes it much easier to steal third base on, but Wesley Wright's really been varying his looks.
Shortstop providing a little cover there. Got him, clipped him. Bases are loaded. Second time in 3 innings that Greencastle loads the bases without a hit. Sutherland has now reached 3 times, and Pat O'Neill's going to come out and talk to Wesley Wright. It's his second visit to the mound in today's game. There was a tremendous feature done on Coach O'Neill. It was on the front page of the Indianapolis Star today. Pat tragically lost his wife after a very courageous cancer battle earlier this year. Pat himself has dealt with the effects of battling COVID-19. That story is not uncommon, obviously, over the course of the last 15 months. Pat, a former state championship winning coach at Brownsburg High School, and one of the many good guys in the coaching profession locally in baseball. Being around these young men has been a source of salvation for him.
That's awesome.
These last few weeks, and obviously you didn't have that last year.
Right. Yeah, I can imagine that. Just tough situation.
Here's Wilson. 2 singles, 2 runs batted in, and safe to say ducks on the pond. This time around for the catcher. RBI 20 and 21 on the campaign. Infield all the way in here. Any contact in the infield, they're coming home.
Catcher that I called Jack Bauer his last at bat, aka Kiefer Sutherland. But as we know, it's Kiefer Wilson.
Ball got away from the bullpen, hence the momentary pause.
You do not see that very much, where the batter will get out of the batter's box and go all the way over and get the foul ball.
This catcher just trade.
That's right.
Ball loose, go get it. Curveball popped him up. First baseman gives chase, but it'll reach the seats behind us.
Which, if that ball's in fair territory, that is an infield fly rule.
Yep. And if you're Danville, that is certainly an acceptable result.
Yeah, for sure.
With the bases loaded.
See, the infield's in right now, so they are definitely trying to cut the runner down at the plate.
Ground ball, shortstop. Can't get out of his glove. What a turn to at least get an out of some kind there. That's tremendous. That's a great piece of hitting, and Greencastle takes the lead. But for Whitehead to get any out in that scenario, job well done.
It is a tremendous job, but I am extremely surprised why he just didn't continue running over and take the easier out and just step on the base or tag the base runner. He made a tough play look pretty easy, so great job of Caden Whitehead, but man, my advice would be take the easier out the next time.
On the way for Wilson. 3 at-bats, 3 runs batted in.
That's good.
Runners at second and third. Harrington at the plate, and again, the infield, everybody is in. And Morrell, the first baseman, is thinking Carrington might just lay one down because he is well into the grass down the first base line. Great job again by Bradley to slide out, block that one. Time is called. Third base umpire. Ball got out of the bullpen again. So you saw the batter kind of lift up. Wright was already in his motion home, but third base umpire saw it and rightfully called time. So no pitch. Count at 1-0.
Kind of reminds me of all these club volleyball tournaments I'm going to with my daughter. Balls coming on your court from another court.
For a strike, 1-1 to count. Heffernan is done tossing, so you would think if there's another run scored here, there'll be a pitching change made by the Warriors.
If you're Greencastle, you can't be okay or satisfied with just one run in this situation.
Ball misses.
Good eye there by Carrington.
Carrington is into a fielder's choice and struck out in his previous plate appearances today. And lines this one, center fielder coming in, makes the play, and runner, there's an out at second base. Sutherland just took off thinking that ball was going to drop. An inning-ending double play, and Danville can breathe a sigh of relief. Greencastle has taken the lead, but again, it could have been a whole lot more. It's 3-2 after 4.5. Warriors come to bat when we come back on the ISC Sports Network.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Game is a presentation of Endeavor Communications, proud to support the local community with the fastest internet around for homes, business, and education. Find out more at weendeavor.com. Thank you to Jordan Shue, Dennis Glover, Eldon Wheeler, Aaron Van Wolding, Rob Lynch, alongside Chris Walker, Greg Ragswell with you. A beautiful night on the northwest side of Indianapolis. Again, the other teams in this sectional, 10th ranked Rebuff, Tri-West, and Cardinal Ritter. They will all enter the tournament on Monday. It's the only state tournament with action on a holiday. A tradition to play on Memorial Day for baseball in the state of Indiana. State championship games this year will be June 21st and June 22nd. That's Monday, Tuesday. Victory Field. Chris and I both will have the honor of being a part of the radio and television broadcast of the state finals this year.
Cannot wait.
Caleb Stevens singled, got an RBI last time up, just his third RBI of the season. That's been kind of the one hiccup so far for Glaze. Literally all of the damage done in a 4-batter span. Other than that, he has had a player reach because of the bases on balls. He's had a player reach because of an error on the first baseman. That's it. And one rough inning. Now pitching with a lead for the first time since the second inning.
Good pitch. Umpire thought about it a little bit, called a strike.
One of the first, third, and fifth for the Tiger Cubs. Both runs coming in the home half of the second for Danville. Live ball. Wilson has plenty of time. On to first base and one down. Strikeout number 5 for Glaze and 17 batters faced.
A great pitch there by Brandon Glaze. Another breaking ball. He's been breaking ball heavy today, but he's been very effective with it.
Here's Bradley. Struck out looking to end the threat in the second. Bradley 10 runs batted in.
Looks like the Buff lacrosse team calling it a day. Practice is over.
And this one off the hands, and it was going to fall regardless, but the left fielder doing his best just to put his glove in front of his shades and try to find it when it lands.
That's right.
1-out single for Bradley.
Looks like we have a courtesy runner coming in here as well. 3 again.
It's the freshman in Thompson, who has scored 3 runs this season.
Now back for the Warriors, number 5, Poindexter.
Poindexter hit one to center field his last time up. Tapper back to the pitcher before that. Poindexter and Coach O'Neill having a conversation. Thompson has 1 stolen base this year on the base paths for the Warriors. Third baseman in Carrington convinced a bunt's going down here.
He never even showed. Third baseman Carrington keeps creeping in too.
Hop to home plate. So throw behind the runner. Ball gets away. Thompson will make a break for second base. Right fielder. There's a couple of hopper, and the error on the throw by Wilson means the tying run is in scoring position with 1 out.
Good decision by Wilson to try to throw behind, but he just made an errant throw there. Advances the runner to second base with no outs. I'm sorry, 1 out.
Glaze is having trouble spotting that breaking pitch that he has been able to really kind of throw wherever he would like today.
Poindexter has not shown bunt in any of these situations. No. I was wondering if he would show a bunt with the runner at second base, but with 1 out, I get it. I get the call.
And he's batting .431.
Yes.
And all the hits have come from the bottom of the lineup. The hits so far for Danville have come from batters 5, 7, 8, and 9. And again, 3-0, throw curveball. Wow. Again, shows you how what he's been spotting today.
No kidding. No kidding.
Poindexter. Ball was in the zone. Again, he thought he would see something straight at 3-1. He didn't. Count runs full at 3-2. Ramirez awaits on deck.
Oh, Greg, we both reached up.
And do enough games at Central Catholic where we're atop the press box. We're head on a swivel. Got to be ready.
That's right.
Got 2 layers of protection here. We're good. Full count one more time. Just off the corner. Wow. Blaze thought he spotted it. The umpire says no, and the go-ahead runs at first base for the Warriors here in the home half of the 5th.
It's a really good spot for you if you're a Danville Warriors fan. Good hitter right here. Tony is lined out to third base and then struck out.
Ramirez on the season, batting .296. 9 runs batted in. That misses high. There has been no activity. We have seen, obviously, the kind of the next arm get ready for Danville. There's been no such activity for Greencastle. That one gets away from the catcher. 390 feet for everybody, and things are suddenly turning in favor of the Warriors.
Really good hitting situation here for Tony Ramirez. Looking at something probably belt high, something you can get to the outfield, driving a run. Hopefully you can shoot a gap. It's got to be your mindset now as a hitter. Lay off the ball down. That's the ball you can beat on the ground. You want to get something up that you can get in the air.
Sort of a hybrid alignment here by the Greencastle infielders.
Yes, it is.
Corner infielders are looking homeward first on contact. Shortstop's kind of playing in between second baseman at a more usual depth.
And so, kind of going back to what I'm saying, you're trying to look for something up that you can drive. The pitcher, Brandon Glaze, kind of makes your job tougher in the situation because he's such a heavy breaking ball pitcher. What I would like to see as a hitter is maybe scoot up in the box just a little bit. Try to get that breaking ball before it drops so you can kind of get that thing up in the air.
Conversation between Coach O'Neill and Ramirez at home plate. Guys had a banner day the last time our cameras saw this Danville team. A couple of triples in that game, or that doubleheader.
He was good.
Was swinging at 3-0.
So then there's that breaking ball that's, it's breaking so much, so sharply. That's the pitch he's throwing to try to get you to hit the ball on the ground. You got to make sure you can get that thing up in the air.
Turns on this one. Runner will come home. Second baseman bobbles. Can't find it. Ball gets away from the throw, and now 2 runners are going to score. Again, the runner was going to score from home on a clean play to the second baseman. But then Huff compounds the mistake by throwing it away from the first baseman. And now it's 4-3 Danville here in the home half of the 5th.
Yeah, just a tough play there by the second baseman. Ben Huff, the ball pops out of his glove, and then what you see too frequently is the fielder then rushes his throw, and he throws it wide, and you kind of compound the error, and it costs you a couple runs.
Well, unfortunately, that will be 2 errors on 1 play. This ball, ground ball, shortstop, backhands it. Goes the short way to second. Can't get Comer hustling down the line. The lead runner is retired. There's 2 down. So I'm going to go ahead and give Ramirez an RBI because, again, that ground ball would have scored the run regardless of whether Huff bobbled that or not.
But makes the first error there.
Correct. It allowed him to reach first base, and then it was the throw that allowed the runner to come home and score. Curveball misses to Whitehead. And all of a sudden, it just got late early for Greencastle.
Yes, it did.
You go from up 3-2 to now, you start to count some outs. Ground ball again, grass cut of the shortstop. Easy toss to second, and the inning is over. But a couple of runs score with a couple of errors factored in for the Tiger Cubs. Danville now leads it 4-3 through 5 as you're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
We're going to look at the football stadium here at Rebuff High School. Located in what would be our left center field wall past that. At these facilities, Wright going to come back out now for a 6th inning of work, and Heffernan had been throwing in the bullpen. You would assume he is still ready. Carter is now heading out that direction for Danville if needed. But Wright will throw with a lead for the first time since the top of the 3rd. 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 5th for Danville. 1 in the 1st, 3rd, and 5th for Greencastle. This game is playing out in terms of the competitive nature of it, as we expected it would.
Yeah, it's an interesting game because it has seemed to me that Greencastle has been kind of in control of the game, but like you said, now they find themselves down by a run.
Well, Greencastle will think about some of the physical errors they have made in this game, but also a couple of the mental errors they have made. And they had the bases loaded with nobody out in the top of the 5th and scored just 1. And again, had a runner vacate second base and when he shouldn't have in terms of a potential line drive out in center field that ended that threat a bit early. Danville able to take advantage of it in the home half of the 5th.
As a baseball coach, to me, you're always going to have the physical errors, but you have to find a way to eliminate the mental errors. Those hurt every time they happen. You just can't have those kind of base running mistakes in crucial situations, especially in do or die baseball games.
Swing and a miss. There were 3 errors in that inning alone for Greencastle. Frankly, only 1 factored into the scoring decision. It was the last one, the throw. It allowed, instead of just a tying run to score, the go-ahead run, potential winning run to score. Here's Kemp. Line drive to the right fielder last time up. Ground ball to second base. Catch up to that one, 1-2 the count. Heffernan again throwing, Carter throwing as well, so they have double barrel action going in the Danville bullpen. And chase the eye-high fastball. 1 down.
Good job to come back by Wesley Wright. Get the leadoff man in the inning. High fastball thrown right by Ryan Kemp.
5th strikeout for Wright. Came in with 48 on the season and 37 innings pitched. This is Huff. It was 0 for 2, and again, he took that protective swing last time at the plate. A 3-2 pitch that was breaking in on him, and don't blame a young man for that.
He said, "I like my teeth."
It's a good business decision to make. Just off the zone, just snapped away from the corner of the plate. 1-1 the count.
I think that was the first time this evening we've seen Wesley Wright kind of drop down a little bit to a lower 3/4 slot on his breaking ball.
We've seen a lot of that, missing high and in tight.
Yes, we have.
Had a 2-1. And as advertised, most of the damage for Greencastle has come from the top of the lineup. That one fouled back, 2-2 the count. And of their bottom 4 hitters, only Barger has reached. That was on a hit by pitch. He would come around to score, but everything's been done from the top of the lineup. The good news is for Greencastle, that group will roll through at worst next inning. Curveball misses high. Full count. See the shadows starting to creep across home plate as well. That's the benefit of the pitcher.
Very much so. Never a good thing for the hitter.
Good stay alive swing that time by Huff.
As a pitcher in these shadow situations, the more balls you can throw with heavy spin, the better off you are. A lot of breaking balls. You're breaking ball heavy, you can be really effective in these situations.
That misses. Good job by Huff to work the walk. The tying runners aboard for Greencastle. Third walk issued so far by Wright. He has hit an additional 2 batters as well.
See if Coach O'Neill, what he does here with Wright. Is he okay with this runner being on base right now? You are at the 8th spot in the lineup, so maybe that's to Wesley Wright's favor. That's what's going to keep him in the game right now.
Ben Huff will exit. Which runner coming in for him? Not much of a lead with that pinch runner. This one smacked and foul ball just did.
Whoa.
Turn right of the base paths. Pettit thought he had stolen one down the first base line.
Not only Pettit, but his first base coach did, his dugout did, everyone on the Greencastle Tiger Cubs side did.
Take a look.
It's close.
Yep.
Really close. And the umpire's right there. I trust him better than I trust myself from up here.
Clearly, once that ball landed past the bag, it was in foul territory. But we couldn't tell from here, and again, the first base umpire is 15 feet away. Did that ball cross the bag or had it turn right by the time it got to it?
Those are always tough calls.
Owen Huff into pinch run. Curveball a beauty. Strike 2.
You said Owen Huff is a pinch runner?
Correct.
Shorten up, get it.
Pettit goes fishing. He believes he had a base hit down the line, given his reaction
That's
as
right.
he's walking away from home plate.
The thing is, the guy he's kind of talking to
Has
is
no
the one,
say in the matter.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Vents some frustration.
Yep.
Pettit, one of the 6 seniors in the batting lineup for this Greencastle ball club. LeBlanc, a 7th, plays right field but doesn't bat. Barger hit by a pitch and scored and then struck out last time up.
Is it?
And if Coach O'Neill's coming out here and this has been a 3rd visit to the mound. Conversation continuing here. And activity has ceased in the bullpen for Danville. Almost curious if this might be the last batter that Wright faces regardless.
I think you're right, and that's probably some of the conversation that Coach O'Neill had. Tell him, hey, big guy, this guy, and you can call it a day. I mean, you've given us a really good start, but I agree with that. I wouldn't want him to go back through the top of this lineup.
That's the 4th time he's seen these guys. Whitaker has a single and has 2 long outs. Glaze has 2 singles. Sutherland's walked twice. Wilson's got 3 runs batted in.
Yep.
I think this is the last batter he will see. One and one the count.
Watch you hit your bat, Bobby.
Outfield really shading towards right here for the number 9 hitter. Just a bit below the knees. 2-1 the count.
And really no lead at all by Owen Huff over at first base. So don't think he's going anywhere in this situation.
Off the hands and fouled back, and Wright is one pitch away from closing out the threat here in the top of the 6th.
I wonder how many pitches he's thrown today.
Well, obviously that's important, given once you reach that pitch maximum. Given the fact this is the 27th batter he has faced, I think he's in okay shape from a pitch count standpoint. This one should reach foul territory. Again, we said there's not a lot of room behind home plate, but what is unique here is that it is equidistant from behind home plate. Juts out a little bit kind of down the lines, but what you would call ample foul territory down the lines and kind of average behind home plate. Now it remains 2-2. Curveball, a beauty, and Wright fired up as he gets the strikeout. So 3 Ks with a walk included in the top of the 6th. And now Danville will look for some insurance runs in the bottom half of the frame. They lead at 4-3, presented by Endeavor Communications here on the ISC Sports Network.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Back at Rebuff High School, Greg Rakestraw, Chris Walker with you. We're on the ISC Sports Network, thanks to our great friends at Endeavor Communications that are bringing today's sectional game to you. Again, the winner of this game will take on 10th rated Rebuff. That is the game slated for noon on Monday. And before that, we'll feature Tri-West and Cardinal Ritter.
Greg, I thought I almost saw something I've never seen before on a baseball field. In between innings here, the gentleman was walking out delivering the umpires a drink, but he had 2 Chick-fil-A sandwiches in his hands, and I thought he was going to give those to the umpires.
I'm not going to fault anybody for carbo loading. Feel the need for Chick-fil-A, I get it.
That's right.
Here's Morrell, first baseman, doubled and scored the first run of the game for Danville. Ground ball to the third baseman last time up. I reference the fact that already batting through the lineup 3 times has been Greencastle for Danville. This is their number 5 hitter that was buckling on the breaking ball, and
it's a really good pitch.
Blaze didn't get it.
And Greg, as we said earlier, I still don't think I've seen anyone warming up in the Greencastle bullpen.
No.
Have you?
But Ian Glaze has had less traffic, quicker innings. 3-0 the count. He's telling him, hey, I got this.
Yes.
You're telling him, hey, don't turn. You can talk.
Yes, exactly.
Just don't turn. And Glaze misses that one, and Morrell.
Oh, wow. Look at
Well, we don't need this. Yeah, he didn't like the fact that ball went his general direction.
Yeah.
On 3-0. He could, again, he didn't want to bear the brunt of Glaze being frustrated and get either the last 2 breaking balls to go his way.
Emotions running high here.
Now batting for the Warriors, number 9,
This game means something.
But for Morrell, and he drew the 4-pitch walk. He could be unhappy about the delivery of that last pitch, but more importantly, you're looking for insurance runs. You just got on the base paths in 4 pitches.
That's right.
Pinch runner now will be coming up here for Danville. Chris DiBenedetto.
And I'll say Chris. How about that?
Well, thankfully, there is a NASCAR driver with the same last name, so I've got a little bit of practice.
There you go.
Trying to run through all those syllables. And it's the outside corner for a strike. DiBenedetto does not have credit for an at-bat this year on the varsity level for the Warriors. So far, Tony has shown no signs of bunting, but now is the scenario we expect that would be the case. Reached on an error on a pop-up to the first baseman last time up.
Oh, wow.
Misses high, 2-1 the count.
Tell you, man, Kiefer Wilson is not bashful about his emotions.
I'll ask if he swung. The answer's no. 3-1 to count. Lay's in danger of walking a second consecutive batter, and he's thrown some pitches that have been awfully close to each of the last two hitters. Still putting himself in an unnecessary bit of trouble. Unleashed on that one, kind of stumbling off the mound as he threw it. Tony sprays it foul, and the count runs full now at 3-2. Like we mentioned an inning ago, the hits have come from the bottom half of the lineup here for Danville.
Very good today.
High
that's
hopper.
Tough. That's tough. It's a
foul ball.
Wow.
Foul ball is called.
Whoa.
And again, you've got a three-man crew here today. But because of a runner at first base, those umpires are at first and second. That is on the home plate umpire to make that call. And it seemed that the ball crossed the bag in foul territory. Wow. Clearly, Carrington, once the ball hit his glove, he was in foul territory. Goes down as a strike. Curveball, a wicked one at that. And that one smack dab on the front corner of the plate. A much needed out for Greencastle.
I go back to that chopper hit over the third base's head. Coach O'Neill was he didn't argue it at all, so that tells me it had to be a foul ball. But I tell you, if that ball's fair, there's no way you're going to make a play on that. You're going to have runners on first and second.
Right. Swings through that one and misses. All right, single and an RBI back in the first. Struck out his last time up.
Wright was trying to give himself a couple insurance runs on that one swing there.
The right bat's 295. And his focus has been on the mound today, but he's been good at the plate all year. That breaking ball hits the corner as well. 0-2 the count.
Greg, is it fair to say that Brandon Glaze has been at least 50% breaking balls today?
More than that.
I would think so.
And right. Well, that would have been a strike if he was 7'6". There's two down. It was smack down in the middle of Manute Bowles' strike zone. God rest his soul. So Stevens to the plate. Singleton got an RBI back in the first and struck out last time up in the fifth. And again, looking ahead for Greencastle, it is their potent top of the lineup that is due up in the seventh. No question will be, will we see Wright back out there for one more inning, or when you've got a college-level pitcher in reserve, if you're Danville, you can throw him for an inning and then bring him back the next time you play in 5 days. Curveball got the outside corner.
I know there's 2 outs, and I mentioned this now, but I wanted to throw it at you. If you pay much attention to some of these new minor league rule changes at all, and the one in particular that's
Stevens goes fishing and comes up empty, 1-2.
that I'm curious to hear about is the base running play, or this base stealing bases, where a lot of talk is going on. A pitcher can only have a maximum of 2 pickoff attempts per batter.
Strike 3. We'll finish that conversation when we come back. And after the walk that had a little extra oomph behind it, 3 successive strikeouts for Glaze. Greencastle score run of their season comes to an end. They trail 4-3 here on the ISC Sports Network.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
Well, it will be a new pitcher that is coming in for Danville, but it will not be Heffernan. No, it will be Michael Carter instead. Carter, a junior, has been spectacular. He has appeared 4 times this year. He has thrown 22 innings. He has allowed just 3 earned runs, so that is a sub-1 ERA of .95. His record is 3-0. He has walked 5. He has struck out 24 this year, has Carter. And opposing batters are hitting .239 off of Carter this year. So Wright is done. He is in line for the win. 6 innings. He has struck out 7, walked 3, 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He hit 2 batters as well. And again, this is just as much about trying to give those top hitters for Greencastle something different to look at here in the 7th, as it is the 4th time to line up for Whitaker, Glaze, and Sutherland. And again, those players have reached base 6 out of a possible 9 times they have come to the plate today.
Tell you what, Michael Carter's got his work cut out for him. This is going to be a tough inning. He's going to have to be sharp to get out of this. These first 4 hitters or so for Greencastle have been really impressive today.
Wright can get the victory. He'll be 6-1. Carter is on in a save scenario here.
So Greg, before this inning starts, kind of going back to my conversation, is a situation where myself being a former base stealer, I would have loved a situation where I knew the pitchers had a predetermined number of pickoff attempts they could put at you, right? And so what I would do if I'm getting on base, I'm going to get the biggest leads I can in the first 2 attempts or first 2 pitches, make that pitcher throw over at me, and then I know he can't throw over anymore. It's off to the races. And so, people have been complaining about some of the stolen base numbers early in this minor league season, but heck, that's why.
Now batting for the Tiger Cubs, number 2.
Everything in minor league baseball is being turned not just into developmental for players, but developmental for new rules as well.
Correct.
Of course, the pitch clock has been employed in minor league baseball for a few years. Putting that, you see it in extra innings major league games now, putting runners on second base.
I think you see it in some of the levels in college baseball. You see it in SEC games at times. You see the clock all the time. I don't know if it's really enforced all the time.
Here's Whitaker. 1 for 3. Singled last time up. Wow. First pitch swinging, first pitch hammering, but that is foul and off the tarp down in left field.
Also be interesting to sit back with Brody Whitaker, Greg, to see if he gets on base, how aggressive they'll be when he's on the base paths.
Time is granted. Carter was taking his time in delivering towards home.
As you said earlier, 30-plus stolen bases, 7 triples out of the leadoff spot. Really impressive.
Carter works out of the stretch. This is low and inside, 1-1 the count. First batter of the game, Whitaker hit a ball to deep right center field that Caden Toney was able to track down a step or 2 in front of the warning track. Next at bat, hit one to deep center of a similar ilk. And this one also to center. Drifting back, lining it up and making the play as Ramirez. And one important bat has been retired for Greencastle. 1 down.
It's a really good swing by Brody Whitaker. Sometimes you hit atom balls and you hit it right to a person, to a fielder. It doesn't help your average, doesn't help your confidence, but I tell you what, you can't do anything about that approach. Good swing. Got in on the hands just a little bit. Couldn't quite get it to the barrel. Still hit it hard, but right to the center fielder, Tony Ramirez.
Here's the pitcher in Glaze, who has singled twice. Carter got the outside corner. Glaze a ground ball to shortstop in his other at-bat, so he is 2 for 3. Pitcher can't grab it, but the second baseman should have a play, and Glaze broke very late out of the batter's box, and in the blink of an eye, Greencastle is down to a final out.
But if I'm going to be down to a final out, this is the guy I want up. He's got major home run pop, 10 home runs on the year. Good time to have one of those. See Glaze not happy with himself after that at bat.
Sutherland has reached all 3 plate appearances today. 2 walks and a hit by pitch.
I would pitch him very carefully here.
Swings over the top of that off-speed pitch. 0-1 the count.
The first pitch breaking ball there by Michael Carter. And as you said, Nick Sutherland swings right over it.
Hop to home plate.
Good job there by Drew Bradley. I love to see catchers, even in situations when runners aren't on base. It's never a time when you don't want to work on dropping and blocking. Good job there by Drew Bradley.
Gets his first strike, and Greencastle down to a final one of those. In a 19-7 season. In danger of going by the wayside here in the first night of the postseason. 1-2. Well, the 2 pitches that have been out of the zone have been not close to home plate.
No, not even close enough to offer at. Now back to a 2-2 count. 2-2 count I always think is a really good breaking ball count, but considering Michael Carter just threw a breaking ball, I don't think he's going to double it up. So I still, as a hitter, I like my approach to be I'm doing everything off the fastball. I'm sitting fastball timing. If he throws me the breaking ball, I'm just going to fight it off. But I can't live with getting beat by a fastball right now.
High hopper. Could be a problem. Second baseman. Bare hand. No.
That's a good call.
Sutherland flying down the line. What a play by Poindexter to snag that with his bare hand. But Sutherland was flying to keep his team's season alive.
That is as good as it gets by the second baseman Poindexter there. Fields that ball bare hand and makes it throw over to first base. And a great call by the first base umpire.
So the tying run is at first base. Pat O'Neill, a quick conversation with the first base umpire, and on his way back, taps Sutherland on the chest today. Nice hustle.
Yes, sir.
So here's Wilson. And again, every at-bat he has had today has resulted in a run batted in. Played at Sutherland in the first, Barger in the third, Whitaker in the fifth.
Sutherland can obviously run. Do you try to advance him in a scoring position?
Lifted to right field. Tony's got it. Does not matter. Ball game is over. And Danville moves on to play Memorial Day. They get their 16th win of the season. They will take on Brebeuf on Monday, while Greencastle's season comes to an end at 19-8. 4-3 the final score today. Chris, your final thoughts on this one?
Really good performance there by Wesley Wright. This Danville Warriors team fought. Took a late lead, and they held on to it.
Wesley Wright goes to 6-1 on the season. Unfortunately, Glaze picks up the tough luck loss. He is 5-2 on the campaign, and Carter faces 4 batters and gets the save for his effort. We want to wish the best of luck to Danville coming up against Brebeuf. The same for Tri-West and Cardinal Ritter coming up on Monday, and congratulations to Greencastle on a fantastic season. For Chris Walker and our entire ISC Sports Network crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. Thanks to the folks at Endeavor Communications, and thanks to you for joining us. You've been watching high school baseball here on the ISC Sports Network.
Brewer jams it home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half.
Throw it up for Tillman.
Whoa, my goodness. 122.60 for Penn.
What a swim!
6